Yes, it's over. The season's over. 28-14. We lost to the Baltimore Ravens, and there is so much I'm going to be talking about here. I can't even play the intro. We're just going to go straight off the rip. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to the Super Bowl. We're not winning the Super Bowl. We are out in the wild card round, and the number one reason we are out in the wild card round is our defense sucked the second half of the year. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what the hell changed overall, whether it be injuries, whether it be not, but just tonight. Tonight, the Ravens basically had 300 yards rushing. Derrick Henry had 186 yards rushing. Their offense had 464 total yards in the game. Most of that coming in the first half when they were actually having to be more of a two-dimensional style offense. Third downs with 20-plus yards. Second downs with 20-plus yards. Wide open receivers. People not even trying to get tackles or going for strip plays. The overall mentality of this team on defense is embarrassing and bad. TJ Watt gone fully invisible. I don't know where TJ Watt was. I'm hoping, kind of as a hockey fan, sometimes you see star players and you're like, I wonder if they have an injury and we're going to find out that he's getting some type of surgery, come Monday or Tuesday this week, that he's been dealing with an injury the last last month of the season, because TJ Watt has turned into an invisible person. He's somebody who has to be a defensive MVP playmaker. He is paid to be a defensive MVP playmaker, but he's nothing. And sometimes he's getting chipped. But I was watching tonight, there's a lot of times he was just being hit by one tackle, and he wasn't sniffing the quarterback at all. The only defensive player I'll give props to tonight is Cam Hayward, because as the nose tackle, he was stuffing it in the second half. He was doing his best, but again, when the defensive edge rushers of Highsmith and TJ Watt aren't really getting any sacks, they are able to bring Lamar down. Lamar is running the ball for a little bit here. He's able to get off passes that should be either sacks or whatnot. The defensive players, consistently, just looking to strip a ball instead of just tackling. It was embarrassing. That first half was embarrassing. 300 yards, and even though the offense didn't score a single point in the first half, and you can point to maybe some of the play calling and some of the actions of that, the Ravens just manhandled the Steelers. They had 4 drives, and they got touchdowns. Almost all were 90-plus yard touchdown drives or 80-yard-plus touchdown drives in the first half. I mean, if I'm just looking at the box score of these, let's look at the game cast of these scoring drives. 95 yards, 85 yards, 90 yards. The Ravens literally had long fields, and they just got touchdowns. 70 yards on their second touchdown, their only touchdown drive in the second half. You try to play a field position game, but the defense just allowed them to walk down the field time after time after time. There was nothing in doubt. Lamar on the, zone replay, able to get a ton of rushing yards. Like I said, just rushing yards in general. They had 299 yards. That's like high school football type level. You don't hear any teams get almost 300 yards rushing in the NFL nowadays. The defensive front, the linebackers were god-awful. Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts, they're not good at covering their tight ends. They're not good at stopping the run. Patrick Queen went from being like a great hire at the beginning of the season to where the fuck did he go in the second half of the season? He looks aloof. There was a play with Andrews at the near end where he could have tackled Andrews down, could have just tapped him down for make it 3rd and 3. He waited for Andrews to get up so he could try stripping the ball. It's I can't help but look at this defense. Mika Fitzpatrick, invisible. Joey Porter Jr. gets a couple tic-tac calls here and there. He kind of does his job a bit. His receivers weren't getting open, but Cam Sutton, I don't know why he's on the field. It's embarrassing. And George Pickens, he had a decent game for himself. A touchdown, 87 yards, got called on a ticky-tack pass interference, which probably should have been called, but still, I just don't know what to say besides this defense sucks. And as much as we want to point at the offense, and 14 points is not enough for the Steelers, the Ravens literally just ran the show in the first half. When you get to have 3 drives for touchdowns, all go from 80-plus yards, 2 of them going from 90-plus yards. The other team's offense isn't even able to be on the field or get a groove or anything like that at all. The Ravens were in full control. Derrick Henry was in full control. Lamar Jackson running the ball and getting out of the pocket, making sure we weren't sacking him, was in full control. And I don't know what you do from here. Like, offensively, if you're looking at the offensive line, we had a rookie center who did a pretty decent job, a rookie left guard, and Broderick Jones is a left tackle who was only kind of there to replace a rookie. So we're young, and Broderick Jones has had his ups and his downs this season. Hopefully when we get our first-round pick more healthy coming into next year, Broderick Jones moving into his third year, all these other guys moving into their second year, our offense has prospects for the future in that offensive line. It definitely feels like we're finding stuff out there. Quarterback play, I don't think we get Russell Wilson back. Let some team out there pay him a lot of money. He was able to make this somewhat of a game, but you're not going to get anything better from him over year to year, and you need a better offensive mind quarterback to be able to maneuver some of these people, whether it be Freiermuth. Van Jefferson got some play, got a touchdown this game. Mike Williams is probably not coming back. George Pickens, Calvin Austin. There needs to be more dynamicness with the QB that is able to hit some of these receivers and just read defenses off the top, and that's what I think Russell was lacking in the second half of the season. We failed him defensively. He did not shine how he needed to, hypothetically, to carry this team. But it's clear that this defense, something happened with leadership. Again, I'm so disappointed with TJ Watt this season. It was a down year, and even though it looked good sack-wise, the second half of the year was kind of pathetic from him. I know he got injured near the end. I'm kind of hoping he comes out and he has an injury. Not that I want him to have an injury, but something to explain why he became a non-factor. Because he was a non-factor. Lamar wasn't really getting any pressure. We got like 1 sack this game. It was embarrassing. Najee Harris, I don't know if he's coming back next year. I'm okay with him not coming back. I mean, maybe he can go somewhere else and get paid more, but he didn't show much this season, in my opinion. He can't consistently, make running plays break out for 20-plus yards. He can't consistently get 3 or 4 yards, 3, 4, 5 yards on a play. Consistently makes bad plays that leaves them for negative pass plays. Jaylen Warren is a good, half of a tandem, but I don't think Najee Harris is another half. And when you look at teams like the Ravens this year with Derrick Henry, Najee Harris is not at that level. And for the type of offense Steelers are wanting to play, they need a Najee Harris or running back to be at that Derrick Henry type level. Do you bring Justin Fields back? I've said this the last few weeks. I wanted Justin Fields to play out these rest of these games. So for us to figure out, is he the future guy or not? I don't know if he is, if he's not getting the starts right now. Didn't really get much. We had 1 pass attempt, but I think we're setting him up for failure in the terms of Fields always comes out. It's always going to be a QB option, play action type play. So as a defenders, you just blitz and you either go on the running back with a couple guys or you go on Fields with a couple guys. Yeah. And as much as the Tomlin hate, I mean, this team was 10-6, 7, end the season 10-8. This was not a team that should have gotten 10 wins. I do want to give credit to Tomlin. I'm not on the fire Tomlin train. Taylor Austin, our defensive coordinator, would like to see him replaced. Maybe we should have kept Brian Flores and let Taylor Austin go. Okay with our offensive coordinator. I don't think he'll be picked up as a head coach this offseason. But we need changes to happen defensively so that we cannot have breakdowns. 464 yards, 300 yards in the first half. This was a defense that was supposed to carry the Steelers. This was supposed to be a defense that puts the stamp on the Steelers. No, they became one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and it was disgusting to see the lack of effort. In the first half, it didn't look like anybody wanted to be there at all. I'm just so upset at the defense. Offense being bad, I can accept that. The offense doesn't have much prospects. Russ isn't the best leader. Najee has improved himself to be a star running back. But the defense, TJ Watt, Mika Fitzpatrick, Patrick Queen, Alex Highsmith, you guys got smoked. And it wasn't just tonight. It was against the Bengals. It was against the Chiefs. It was against the Eagles. It was against the Ravens teams earlier this season. Like, you got smoked bad. And the fact that it got 300 yards rushing, that tells me you got your asses kicked. Asses kicked. And you didn't have to fight and you had to try and stop. 200 yards rushing, I would just say you had the asses kicked. 300 yards, you didn't have to fight to end this game or to keep us in this game. Like, personnel on defense, things have to change. Cam Sutton can't be back. Landon Roberts can't be back. Maybe Alex Highsmith, he might be worthy to be trade bait for somebody, you know. Because I do think we have young guys that can replace him. Beanie Bishop should have been playing this game more. He was a big player for us throughout the season. I don't know why he kind of got benched. I know he got hurt a little bit, but like, this defense got pathetic. This defense was absolutely pathetic. And it's been pathetic these last few games. Let's just go to the Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me look at their last few games here on ESPN. Let's just look at their last games of the season and just see the team stats that they've given up. So the 5-game losing streak. You had tonight, you had given up 464 yards of offense. Last week, a little bit better. You know, only 314 total yards. Against the Chiefs, 389 yards of offense. Against the Ravens a few weeks ago, 418 yards of offense. Against the Eagles, even further back, 400 plus yards. This defense has turned into Swiss cheese. And when you're Swiss cheese as a team that's built on defense, if your defense is giving up 350 to 400 plus yards, almost 500 yards, almost 300 rushing yards a game, you have problems that need to be solved ASAP, because this is where the money is for Pittsburgh. You invested money in this defense, and they gave you a pile of shit the last 5 weeks. Gonna be hell to pay. Hell to pay. I just don't know where you're supposed to go personnel-wise. Because as much as I want to sit there and, you know, Terrell Austin needs to go, much people are going to want to call for Mike Tomlin to go. It'd be stupid to get rid of Tomlin. I think he makes this team play better sometimes than they do. That money on the defense, something's got to change. Something's got to shift around. You got to change personnel. You need to stack up things differently. You need to play a more modern defensive ball. Because it did not work out. You got smoked at the end of the year. Got smoked. There wasn't much pressure. There wasn't much sacked. And even today, they just ran down your throats. And that's supposed to be your strength. Put in the comments all your thoughts. I got rated by Tom Grossi embarrassingly in halftime. And during my halftime tradition of putting on one of my videos while I go relax at halftime, maybe get some food, go to the bathroom, get rated at the worst time, miss my opportunity that I didn't deserve because the Steelers sucks. You know, if the Steelers are going to be sucky, I don't think I deserve to try and capitalize on that amazing raid from amazing community. But that was just embarrassing. 300 yards rushing pretty much. Embarrassing. Defense. This is the defense. Ticky-tack, easy throws. Just running the ball down the field. Henry threw a 44-yard running back touchdown. We're looking to strip the ball. Like, this defense looks like it just gave up. Oh. I don't know how you get away from the Patrick Queen contract because he wasn't that great the second half of the year. I don't know if you need to change the whole scheme. You know, when you run with like 4 in the front, go back to the old-fashioned Steelers 3-4 defense. Watt needs to be better. It was just pathetic. It's been pathetic, and the defense got exposed tonight as frauds, and you can't give up 300 yards in the first half. You can't give up 3 touchdown drives of 85-plus yards, 2 of them of 90-plus yards in the first half, and even want to be a playoff. You can't even blame the offense. That's just the defense sucking. That's all I'm going to say here. Thank you all for giving me support this season. Thank you all for coming in here and watching. Raven fans, if you're watching this, continue laughing at me and the Steelers. And you deserve this. You deserve to laugh at us. You humiliated us, and you get to enjoy the spoils of that. Hoping you lose next week to the Bills when the Bills beat the Broncos. But man, the defense, pathetic. That's the word for the defense. Pathetic.